Welcome to Bayloric TV and this edition of Inside Story. We ask the questions you want the answers to. And now our host, Ingram Jones.
Hi and welcome to Bayloric TV. I'm your host Ingram Jones, and on the show tonight we've got an in-depth special with Don Charles. On the show I discuss with Don Charles various topics such as Derek Chisora, Ian Lewison, the heavyweight division, being a boxing trainer, and of course he responds to the video that Ali Adams did on Bayloric TV not too long ago, discussing Ali Adams' accusations. So stay tuned.
Good afternoon, Ingram. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much for talking to Bayloric TV.
It's a pleasure.
It's
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you too, and to Team Chisora and Team Lewison now, I believe.
That's correct. I've acquainted myself with Ian Lewison, a heavyweight, and it's early days yet. He's had one fight. He had a fight 3 weeks ago in Brentwood in Essex.
Okay.
Which he came through with flying colours. So it confirms my beliefs that I did the right thing to take him on. He fought really well, and I'm really, really pleased for him.
Excellent news. This is a very anticipated interview because of recent interview I did with Ali Adams, your former fighter. Yes, your former fighter, and you made a few statements about yourself, and I know that you've seen the video and the interview, so I think I'll kind of let you speak on the topic first and foremost.
Sure. Where do I start?
Well, the thing about him sticking the injection in his neck, when he said he came and spoke to Don Charles, he said, I asked him, why didn't you talk to Don Charles about your neck injury? Why didn't you cancel the fight? Why couldn't Don Charles have helped you? So you're the trainer, and he told you about the neck injury. He said that you got him training to a point where he was so exhausted, he did have nothing to offer to the Odley fight. And that's one of the reasons why he couldn't perform come the Odley night.
Okay. Right. Going back to the neck injury, when Ali Adams first came to me, may I add, I've always admired his style from a distance because I'm a big Muhammad Ali fan, yeah? And some of the things he does resembles that of the great Muhammad Ali, especially the jab. He has a fantastic jab, Ali Adams, and that was one of my very first observations about him, because Derek used to spar him quite a lot when he was trained by other trainers. What I've always liked about Ali Adams, like I said, is his jab. He has a tremendous jab that he needed to believe in. He didn't actually believe that he had that good jab. So when eventually we teamed up, I said to him, I will help you because I fully understand the style that you're doing. I'm going to help you maximize that style and for it to be effective and for you to go out there with the state of the heavyweight division worldwide, how it is at the moment. You've got a chance, if we can get that jab working and you believing in that jab of yours, I think you could do something. So that was the agreement. And I gave him a 3-fight deal. I said, you've got 3 fights to prove to me that I should be training you. Okay. And so that was the agreement. He won 2 fights prior to the Odley Harrison fight. The Odley Harrison was the 3rd fight of the deal, which myself and Steve Goodwin, the promoter, had to put him to the test to see if Steve is investing, his investments is justified. He paid Odley, I won't disclose how much, he paid Odley Harrison good money for Ali Adams to have the privilege, may I add, the privilege of fighting a gold medalist, European champion. They don't come cheap, So Steve took it on my say-so to invest for Ali Adams to fight Odley Harrison, because I seriously believed, call me naive, call me whatever, I'm a very ambitious guy. but my ambition is calculated before. I'm not a gun-ho person. It's all calculated. It's all, there's a risk in everything we do in life, When I said to Steve Goodwin, he asked me a question, can Ali Adams be Odley Harrison? I said, it's not going to be easy, but if this boy, we're investing in him, I'm investing my time as a coach and my reputation as a coach, and you're investing physical cash, we need to know, instead of waiting 10 fights down the road for him to find out whether Ali Adams is what we believe he could be or do, that let's find out. He's ready. I believe that he was ready to fight the likes of the Odley Harrison of today. Unfortunately, the result. He came unstuck. And going back to the neck injury question you asked me, during sparring, not just for the Odley Harrison fight, during sparring, Ali Adams will always, after 2 rounds, start complaining about his neck. I said, what is this neck problem? He said, the head guard always hurts his neck. Then it's not professional if you're preparing for a fight, for yourself or for the person you're sparring, to spar without headgear, because if you clash your heads, you will get cut, and then it's either you don't fight or the person you're sparring who's preparing for a fight will not fight. So it's very unprofessional not to wear headgear to spar for a lot of reasons. So I've always denied him to take it off because it's not fair on the person he's sparring. In case of head clashes, they'll get cut. So it's always been a big problem. But one thing I'm going to be very, very blunt, not because Ali is no longer with me. Whether Ali is with me or not with me, the truth is his truth. What I've observed during sparring sessions, when the first 2 rounds Ali always wins the first one and the second round of every sparring session. People don't have the answer to that jab. When he's having it his own way, there's no head pain, there's no neck pain. The minute he starts receiving punches from the other fighter, that's when the head starts to hurt or the neck starts to hurt.
So you're questioning his heart here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of things in life, I'm not a doctor, I'm not Ali Adams, I don't know what he's feeling. A lot of things is brought on by the mind. The mind is a very powerful...
Absolutely, psychological. I totally agree with that.
Yes.
But okay.
Therefore, this neck injury or this thing, it's ironic that the minute it starts getting hit, okay, the neck problem starts. I believe a lot of it is... in fact, I believe it's a psychological problem.
But let me ask you a question. So the neck injury came up at the Odley Harrison fight, or was the neck injury there beforehand?
No, let's get it right. It's not a neck injury.
It's a psychological thing. Yes. So,
I believe so because I've noticed that when the first, like I said, I've monitored so many sparring sessions with Ali Adams. The first round, second round, he always wins them because he's throwing those fantastic piston-like jabs, okay? But the minute the opponent starts to come back, then the neck pain.
Well, the first question I've got to ask you as a coach, but you're observing this guy, yeah? You've observed this guy through 2 fights, so that's quite a few sparring sessions before he's got prepared for those 2 fights, correct? Right. So coming into Odley Harrison fight, and there's a big investment in Ali. Psychologically, you felt that he may have been unstable under pressure because as soon as pressure's put on him, the neck injury, the neck thing starts up.
Sure.
Now as a coach, I would have gone. Hold on a second. This guy's heart is questionable. He's going to go into the biggest fight of his career. Is he going to be able to deal with Odley if Odley decides to hit him back?
Right. Not
so
decides.
That's a big chance.
Anyone? Yeah. Right. So let me retract a little bit. There's one bit that we missed here. When I took Ali Adams on, I was one of the people who used to question his heart. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I was one of the people, his critics, who used to question his heart. When I took him on, the first thing I did was address that he didn't have a defense. Yeah? Okay. So I started to work on his defense. And even he too, if he was to be honest, he couldn't thank me enough. He said, I've never known how to defend a common, simple jab coming towards me. I used to panic, right?
True.
So now when I now start addressing the defense issues, he gained a lot of confidence from that, knowing how to deal with shots. Coincidentally, the head problem was never there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
At that period. Now, when the opposition, for instance, we went to Norwich to spar Sam Sexton prior to the Odley fight. Yeah?
Okay.
Like I said, for the first 3 rounds, he was all over Sam Sexton. I love Sam Sexton. He's a brilliant boxer, and I rate him highly. I still do, right? For the first 3 rounds, it's a 6-round sparring session. For the first 3 rounds, he couldn't put a glove on Ali Adams. But the minute Sam started to come back at him, and he did, the neck problem started. Right. You asked me a question. Going into the biggest fight of his career, how am I going to let him go knowing this, that it's a psychological problem? Right. I'm not God. I'm a boxing trainer, right? All I can do is to equip this person. Being as is a mental problem from my diagnosis, from my findings, I speak to him. One thing I'm also very good at doing is getting into my fighter's head, giving them confidence, talking to them. Yeah, I took Ali Adams to Germany. There was a chap, a heavyweight, who was also preparing for a fight. He's a southpaw, the same height as Odley Harrison. So whilst we was in Germany, I really believed I got into Ali Adams' head to make him conquer the fear of being attacked. You're going to get attacked. You're in a fight.
Of course.
Okay.
If you're fighting a live opponent, that is.
Exactly. Yeah. So therefore, I did the best I could do with the situation, to psych him up, to make him realize if you're the one hitting them, they're going to be hitting you bad, but not as much as if you're not hitting them, if you know what I mean. So sometimes best form of defense is to attack. In some cases in life. So I believe I gave him enough, I bred enough confidence in him to be able to conquer that fear that brings on the neck problem.
But Don, okay, but it is psychological. We're saying here. I
believe it is.
And you believed as a trainer that how many sessions you think it would take for him to overcome that psychological issue that you had?
Well, like I said, it's not something that could be cured overnight.
No.
But I believe we had enough in terms of ability, enough with the stamina, enough know-how, and Ali's determination. Don't forget, he's the fighter. Do you want this? The question is, do you want this? If at any point Ali turned around and said, you know what, I'm not up for it, I could also be able to measure to see where his confidence level is at. Yeah?
Yeah, but Don, was the Odley Harrison fight the biggest pay that Ali Adams was receiving in his career? Yes.
I won't go into purses because it doesn't actually work like how people think. If you're an investment for a promoter, Ali Adams, I can't disclose what he got or what.
No. I don't expect you to.
The money is about Odley. It's not about Ali at that point. At this point, it's an investment. It's a business like any other business.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say that this was his biggest fight of his career and was going to get the biggest purse, so therefore he just took the money and ran.
Exactly. No, it was his biggest fight of his career, but not necessarily in terms of financial. It doesn't have financial gains. What he would gain had he won is the Odley's name on his record,
and then he would have gained more money from that,
which will equate to his purse for the next fights in the future.
Right. So the accusation couldn't be thrown to Ali that he just took the money and ran. So that
but he can't do that because he wouldn't have got much for that fight.
So obviously he had to be motivated to take the fight.
I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Okay. The accusation also was thrown at you that you overtrained Ali Adams, and he said that he was so overtrained, the fact that when he came to fight he had nothing to offer.
Mm-hmm. Which again, only Ali Adams can tell you. A trainer can only measure through the weeks and weeks of training what you put in. He's not a robot.
No.
You speak. there was a point during because Odley kept moving the dates, right?
Yes, he did say
He
that.
kept moving the dates. There was 2 cancellations prior to the fight. Okay, so when you're training and then the promoter calls you and tells you as a trainer the fight's been postponed, you have to then measure so that you don't peak, your fighter don't peak.
So
Yeah.
So you kind of tail the training in.
Yeah, sure. I'm very good at that. Yeah, I believe that I was able to bring Ali Adams back.
Mm-hmm.
Then got the new date. Then we train towards to get into. Now, when he says he had nothing for the fight, I can't say that I don't believe him. That means I'm calling him a liar. But only him knows what he's feeling. But at no point did he say to me, "Coach, you know what? I haven't got nothing." Yeah.
Okay.
At no point. He looked also his performances. Don't forget, this is all based on performances.
Yes.
He was performing perfectly well in all aspects of training, not just the sparring. There's all aspects of training. You monitor your fighter. I took him on track like I do for all my fighters.
Yes.
He done his sprint works. He done everything there is to do with regards to.
So basically, he got himself into shape. Okay. Do you remember when I came down? You obviously remember when I came down to the gym and I met yourself and Ali. And I said to Ali, if you're going to fight Odley Harrison, you can't afford to make him think you've got to get on him straight away. Do you remember we were talking about that? And you were saying, yeah, that's definitely the game plan to fight Odley. But yet, when I saw the fight, I was shocked because for 2 rounds, like Ali looked like he was trying to box with him. But yet only in the 3rd round, where he kind of went out at Odley, I thought, yes, this is an opportunity. This looked like this is what he should have been doing from rounds 1 and 2. So in round 3, he came flying at the tracks. I thought, yeah, it's an opportunity.
Absolutely. That was the game plan. Yeah, you're quite right. Your observations are absolutely spot on because for round 1, 2, he froze just like Odley. Odley was very apprehensive if you watch him because it gotten into Odley's head. Odley knows me well. Me and him go back a long, long way. Yeah. And if you listen to the press conference, Odley always acknowledged. He said, "Look, Ali, you're not in my league. I would have been predicting to stop you in the first 2 rounds because Don Charles is training you. I'll give you benefit of the doubt. I will stop you later on. Yeah. Okay. Now it was always in his head that damn, Don Charles is gonna get Ali Adams fit. Yeah. That was on Odley's biggest fear is that Ali Adams is gonna be very fit. Okay. So in the first 2 rounds, he was very cautious, and Ali, forgetting the game plan in the first 2 rounds, became apprehensive himself. He wasn't initiating the fight. Okay, the whole point was to set the pace, use this fitness of yours you've gotten, initiate the fight, put Odley under calculated pressure.
Okay,
but you only did that in the 3rd round.
But I will go back and ask the question. He froze for the first 2 rounds. Biggest fight of his career, agreed. But he'd been sparring with, heavyweights that were similar to Odley in style and stature.
Sure.
And he'd done all the week's training for that. The question is, did he freeze because he felt he didn't have the confidence in what he'd been training, or was it more than that?
Well, we could be pulling our excuses out of the sky. I can only tell you my experience from what as a trainer, what the experience I had with Ali Adams during preparation, which was quite a long. It was a long program. Like I said, Odley kept cancelling the day, so you ended up training for like 16 weeks. Okay, for a 10-round fight. 16 weeks is a long time. But like I said, I was pulling him on and off to get it, try and get it. It's like you juggle to get it right. We had it right. I believe Ali was in the best shape of his life. He prior to the fight, if you listen to all the press conferences, it's all on the internet.
Yes,
he claimed
he was the best shape of his life. Well, every boxer says that. All right.
So if you're in the best shape of your life, then all of a sudden after the fight you got beaten. Had Ali Adams won that fight, do you think he'd be saying to you that I overtrained him? Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. I'd rather be accused as a trainer who overtrained this fighter than a trainer who undertrained this fighter. Yeah. So I will hold my head up high and say, you know what, we got it wrong. I overtrained him. But I'm not saying it's correct to do so. But I'm glad. I'm rather Ali Adams is accusing me of a coach who overtrained him than a coach who undertrained him.
Okay, the other accusation that Ali said that after he was stopped by Odley Harrison, the next week you had him set to go in the gym and spar for Derek to help Derek prepare for David, you had him using the left jab alone. And like Ali said, look, I've got nothing left. I just got stopped by Derek. I just got stopped by Audley.
Yeah.
And now you want me to come in the gym and spar with Derek.
Right. That's incorrect. That's incorrect. All right. To the degree, if he carries on accusing me of that, I should be either thrown into jail for that, because you don't do that. Because on the rules of the British Boxing Board of Control, if you've been stopped from in a fight, you don't box for 28 days. Yeah. So no under any circumstances that I call Ali Adams. Yeah. I think you need to listen back to that, because from what I recollect, what he's meaning is that prior to the Odley Harrison fight, yes, I was calling him to come and spar with in the beginning of the program. Okay, not after he got knocked out. No way.
That's what he said. That's what he said. He said after I got stopped. He said I got stopped, and then Don called me and said just for me to use that beautiful left jab on Derek. That's what he said in the interview.
Incorrect. Yeah, this is something we need to go back to. You see, I'm drunk, which I don't drink. Yeah, and he doesn't drink either, right? He doesn't drink, so he's sober. Yeah.
Yes.
He's sober. And I don't intoxicate. I'm not under any influence of any substances that will make me my judgment to where it's blurred, where I don't remember things. No, I might be getting old, but I do remember very well that I would never have asked Ali to come and spar Derek. Yeah, after he's been stopped by Odley Harrison. No, that did not happen.
That's what I mean, at the end of the day, I could say this, I could say that. He could say this, you could say that. We don't know.
Circles. I'm saying to you categorically, no, I wouldn't have done that and did not do that.
Okay, why as a trainer, when Ali said that he asked you about his neck injury, about seeing a doctor, you were unable to give him the support that he claims you could not give him. Therefore, he had to go off and see an unlicensed doctor.
All right. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So when this neck problem started to be more frequent, we suggested that, in fact, one of my co-trainers, who's a strength conditioner for Derek Chisora, his name is John Ramos.
John, I've spoken to John, nice guy.
Yeah. So I asked John for his. John recommended there's a chap who does is specialist in massaging such problems. Okay, he came to our gym and he spent I believe it was 30 minutes on Ali Adams' neck, massaging the neck, manipulating that area to release a muscle that may be trapped or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was a session. The chap also told Ali Adams if he required, he's going to need more sessions, but it will cost him X amount. And Ali said, well, that's quite expensive. I can't afford to carry on with those treatments. So that ended there and then. He had one treatment there. But what he also did tell me, he went to see his GP, who he then told me has given him something, a pill.
Yes.
To help the pain, to ease the pain.
Okay, now the pill wasn't illegal, was it?
Well,
illegal in terms of boxing.
Yeah, right. Look, I'm a boxing trainer.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not a specialist in pills. Right. If I have a headache, I'll take a Nurofen or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not qualified to tell Ali Adams what pills to go and get. That's a GP's job, a doctor's job. Yeah. I referred him to his doctor. I said, you must go and see your GP, maybe get a scan, get referred to a hospital to get a scan to see if there's something. Look, listen, to have a British Boxing Board of Control license, you would have passed your medical, right?
Yes.
So the medical will indicate if there's any, if you have a major problem, head problem, you will not pass your medical.
No, obviously you wouldn't. So the fight wouldn't have gone ahead.
Right. So therefore, when he was complaining about his neck problem, I suggested he goes and sees his GP to see if there's anything that could be given to him to ease this pain. He said he's been to his GP and they've given him tablets, right? I couldn't tell you what tablets. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, that's a doctor's job.
Right.
So let's assume at this point he's taking tablets.
Okay.
I said, how's your head? He said, my head is better. Fine. Now, Don't forget, he's told me he's been given pills. Tablets is pills, not injections, pills.
Right.
Let's not mistake the two, right? Now, after the fight, he lost the fight. He got tested. No, sorry. Let me go back a little bit because this is a very serious accusation what Ali has accused me of. So I need to answer it as clear as I remember, okay? My involvement. Right. Ali Adams was complaining for his head. He told me and the promoter, Steve Goodwin, that he's seen his GP. GP has given him pills to take for his neck problems. Fine. During the weigh-in, which happens at the Sugar Hut in Essex, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was a day before the fight. Yes. Ali Adams shoved Odley Harrison on his chest during the face-off. They did a face-off after the weigh-in, yeah?
Right.
Now, it was quite aggressive, which, you know, you're used to seeing that at weigh-ins, you know, tempers flare and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Anyway, that very evening, I got back to my apartment. I got a phone call from the promoter, our promoter, Steve Goodwin. He said, "You won't believe this." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I've just had a call from the board. The board are requesting for a drugs test." Yeah?
Yes.
That Odley Harrison had insisted that Ali Adams has to be tested for drugs because of his behavior at the weigh-in. I laughed it off. Steve laughed it off. We said we got into Audley's head. That's how we read it. We said, "Oh, there you go. He doesn't want the fight. He's going to look for every excuse to pull out of the fight." That's how we read it. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I even told Ali about it, and Ali laughed. I said, "You won't believe this. Audley's requesting that you have a drugs test." We laughed about it. So, obviously, we have no objections to a drugs test. Absolutely none. Okay? Now, after the fight, the doping people came to our room. And by the way, Ali's GP, a woman doctor, she was present throughout our preparation in the room prior to the fight, which is unusual. Very unusual. Your GP, personal GP, who's not connected to the board, normally is a representative from the board who will be present just to check you. Yeah? But his GP was in our room. She's a lovely woman. I told her, I said, "Look, thank you for being there for Ali, looking after him for this neck." She said, "No problem." So the doping people, after the fight, they came and took samples. They took a blood sample. They also took a urine sample. Now, we left the venue. The next day, Ali said to me, "I'm really worried, I said, "Worried about what?" He said, "I'm not sure if I'm gonna pass my test with the test, the drug test." I said, "Why are you worried?" He said, "Well, I'm the stuff I took." I said, "It doesn't matter because the doctor gave it to you. A certified doctor gave it to you. So therefore, if anything is found in there that shouldn't be in there, the doctor will come on because it's a certified doctor that will say, this is what I gave the fighter.
Yes.
I'm fully aware he's a boxer. I'm fully aware that this will fail a drugs test or will not. So don't be worried because the doctor is there. A doctor gave it to you. So what you worried about?" Anyway, that was that. I think it must have been about 2 weeks after the fight. Steve Goodwin called me, the promoter. He said, "Ali keeps calling me, telling me that he's worried that he might not pass his test." I said, "Steve, he said the same thing to me. And I've told him the doctor gave it to him. So I'm not saying it's all right if a doctor gives you an illegal substance. I'm just saying we haven't gone to a backstreet doctor to get pills. Ali has gone to his GP to get these pills. So, if worse comes to worse, the doctor will stand up and say, this is what I gave the fighter. So what's the problem?" Yeah? So that was that. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit. I think it might have been 3 weeks after the fight or 4 weeks after the fight. Ali Adams called me, said he wanted to have a meeting with me. I said, fine. We met. at a bar which is situated at the top of the road of where my gym is in Finchley Centre.
No, we sat there a few times and spoke.
Exactly. It was in the summer. We sat outside. I remember it clearly. He had a brown envelope in his hands. We sat there. He said, "I've got something to tell you." I said, "What is that?" He said, "My results have come back, and I failed my drugs test." I said, "Damn, that's a big blow." I said, "Well, Ali, I'm not being funny. Your GP gave you those pills, so you need to put together a report get your GP to put a report and accommodate you and be with you and go to the doping people to say, this is what I gave Ali Adams. Why did he fail?" And, contest it. If that was me, I would contest it.
Well, of course you would.
He said, no. He said, "No, there's something else." I said, "What is that?" He said, "I took something else."
Uh-oh.
I said, "Oh, no. What else did you take?" He said, "Someone gave me something else." I said, "What? What did they give you? I'm not a doctor. What is it?" I started getting angry, and I said, "What did they give you? Are you stupid? Why didn't you certify it with your doctor?" Yeah. He said, "It was an injection." I said, "Oh, no. Injection of what?" I don't know. Even if you told me what it was, I wouldn't know because I'm not a specialist in anything like that. Yeah. So it turns out that he was injected. Okay. Now, there's only me and Ali Adams alive who was present at that moment. So I can't be called witnesses. So if he's an honest man, Ali Adams, by the way, I love this man. I'm not gay. Yeah, I don't have anything against gay people, by the way, but I'm not gay. When I use the word love, I love him as a human being. He's a lovely.
Got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, he's a nice man. He's a nice kid. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not condemning him. Yeah. We all make mistakes. All right. It's a very bad and big mistake he made here. He turned around to me and said he was injected. I went ballistic. I said, "Do you know that you could have died? You let someone who's not registered, someone who's not a medical person, administer an injection on you. Are you mad? You could have died. What are you doing?" He said, I know. Right? I said, "What? I'm not being funny. Even at this late stage, you should go and drag that individual, whoever they are, bring them forward for them to say, I did it. But even you shouldn't have gone to get anything like that. What is wrong with you?" Like a child, he's young enough to be my son. I spoke to him like a brother, like a son, like anything you could think of. I spoke to him in that way. I told him off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Look, I'm not being funny. I love you and everything, but I don't feel sorry for you because you should never have done that. How desperate could you have been to go and do that?" I mean, obviously, it was desperate to get every advantage, which is what we call a cheat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you go and get anything by any means necessary, you want to win, but you're cheating against your opponent. It's not fair. No, never would be fair. If my opponent, God forbid, if it was Odley Harrison who went and took drugs to try and beat my fighter, I will also condemn him. Yes. Because it's not right. Right? So therefore, I was really hurt about him going to how desperate could you be to go and get something? Initially, he told me and the promoter that it was from the doctor, a pill, not an injection. No injections was ever mentioned.
We claimed the injection was in his neck.
Well, again, I'm not a medical person. Yeah. There's something called cortisone injection, which sportsmen get if they got pain in their foot, whatever. Footballers take a cortisone injection. Yeah. Now, where you put it, I don't know. Right? So if it was in his neck, I don't know. I don't know because I wasn't there.
Well, he tells me after I spoke to him again recently, and when we need to follow, I told him, I sent the video to you. He said that the injection, he needs to make an apology, and he said his apology was that the injection wasn't in his neck, but it was up his arse or on his arse.
There you go. Right? So I'm not being funny. There's too many inconsistencies in his evidence or whatever you can call it. There's too many inconsistencies, yeah? So he should get his facts. When you're telling the truth flows. When you lie, you're very inconsistent.
When I said to him, well, look, some people kind of had a problem with when I called him stupid because he said, I went and saw somebody who had who was in was it steel fight? Well, not steel fight. MMA, a cage fighter. He went to a cage fighter to get an injection put in his neck.
Well, that's not very clever, is it?
I said, well, first of all, cage fighting or MMA fighting,
it's not clever, is it?
It's got nothing to do with boxing, and you know that you're going to get tested in the biggest fight of your career. Why would you do that? That's pretty stupid.
Yes, I would say so.
And he said, yeah, well, you're probably right that everyone makes mistakes. I said, well, the two things you need to do is take responsibility for your actions, one,
absolutely,
which you've pretty well done, and take the blame and accept the ban. The second thing is you need to find that person who administered that injection in your neck. Well, I thought it was his neck. He then tells me it was on his ass. So
well, there you go.
So even worse, he put it on his ass. And then he says the persons he can't find them and they've gone missing. I've sort of thought afterwards and thought,
surprisingly, gone missing. Yeah,
you just go missing like that. Well,
Ingram. While we're on that subject, right? I've always spoken out loud when it comes to this. Yeah. When I was initially asked about, because it was leading up to the David Hayes Derek Chisora fight, it was leading up to that. So I was pulled up on it by a reporter. Okay. Yeah. He asked me a question, and I said, look, obviously, I strenuously deny having any involvement or knowing anything to do with it prior to the fight. I knew about it after the fight, after my fighter then confessed to me. Yeah. I said, exactly. I said, what should happen also is that these individuals who go around administering these drugs should also be brought to justice and punished. Yeah, severely.
Ali said that you went on Sky Sports News.
Yeah.
And you lied and said that he was a drugs cheat.
What else are we going to call him?
You tell. I don't know. That's what Ali said, that and because of that, he loves Don. He used to love Don Charles, but as a father and everything. But Don Charles is a liar.
Fine. Okay, fine. To him, I'm a liar. To me, I'm a very honest man. Too honest. So I said to the Sky Sports reporter, I condemned all drugs cheats, the people who take it, the people who administer it. I also went further. I said, then he said, what about your fighter? I said, well, he falls into that category. If it's proven that he has done it, then he's a cheat. What else am I going to call him? Yeah, because he's my fighter? No. What he did was wrong all day long.
Don Charles done it. I don't know if he did it because he get some extra money or something. I don't know what he was up to and that sort of stuff he was going on about.
Sorry. Just come back again. He done it because he's getting extra money from where?
That's what he said in the interview. He said, Don done it because he may get some extra money or something. I don't know. No, I didn't say it. That's what he said. So. No,
but I'm a bit confused there. He might get extra money from where? Who's paying me this money?
Ali Adams said, he's suggesting these things, Yeah,
and also, I know. Listen, I hate. I'm a very private man, right?
Yeah.
I don't really like airing my dirty washing out. But you know what? The fact that he's come on your program,
yes,
yeah, accusing me of lying, which is a big accusation, yeah. Mm-hmm. With the aid of the internet today, anything that we say, the conversation we're having now is being. I hope you're recording. Are you recording it?
I'm definitely recording this interview.
All right. Because we can always go back. If someone says something, we can always retract, go back and check it out to see who's lied. So I want to ask Ali Adam, at what point did I lie about him? I was asked a question. I answered honestly. Yeah, well, because I didn't say to the reporter, no, he's not a cheat, he's too naive. No, that's wrong. You knew fully well what he was doing, okay? You knew fully well, I'll repeat it again, yeah? You knew fully well what he was doing. He went to a non-medical person who's not certified to not only, even if it was a pill, he shouldn't have done that. He went and got injected. Now it transpires up his bottom. Wrong.
Right. Was there anything in his performance? Because a lot of people say, PEDs, when you take a PED, your performance is better. A performance-enhancing drugs. Now, I've seen a few incidences in boxing where people have taken PEDs and still got knocked out. So
Absolutely. So, listen,
if it's performance enhancing, I don't know how that's enhancing their performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that just goes to show, yeah, listen, please contain yourself for one moment. That goes to show you, right? Drugs don't make you win. To all the cheaters, all the potential people who are maybe tempted to do it to win, it doesn't make you win. Okay?
Did you see anything in his performance that was any better because he had that stuff in his system? If it was really a performance enhancing drug. I've got to ask the question.
Yeah, I will answer the question. No, I did not.
So
it makes me angry.
Worse? Wait, was his performance worse than Don?
No, I wouldn't say worse or better. Had we won, then you could ask me that question. Then we could be saying, oh, because he took that, he won. Yeah? It just shows you he did not win. He got stopped.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., I've got to bring his name in. He was caught by smoking marijuana or weed, yeah? In his fight against Martinez. For 11 rounds, he did nothing. But a lot of people said that Martinez did outbox and gave him a boxing lesson. And in the 12th round, he caught Martinez. And it was very dramatic, the 12th round. And many people suspect that if he was off the marijuana, he'd run a bit more awake in the fight. Do you believe this?
Boy, honestly, I couldn't really answer you. I can only give you my own opinion. I don't think it's so relevant, I'll be honest with you, especially with the likes of not promoting marijuana.
But it chills you out, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But I couldn't really answer you that, I'll be honest with you, because people shouldn't take anything, period. Whether it's marijuana, whether you're a sportsman, you should be as clean as you can, eat food, consult a nutritionist who's going to give you the things that you know, that they know from their profession. They're qualified to advise you and give you what you should take.
The last thing I want to ask you about this is there's a conversation that's on the boxing forums, and I'm hearing it quite often now. Oh yeah, there's a lot of fighters that are doing these things, and the new trick they're using is shakes. Is this true?
What's it called? Sorry?
Shakes, milkshakes. These protein drinks.
Yeah, look, there's a one on the market. I believe it's called Jack D3 or something. Or I don't call me ignorant, call me whatever. I'm a boxing trainer. Yeah, okay. I train my guys to fight.
Okay.
I show them all the physical and technical aspects of the sport.
Okay.
Anything to do with intake. I know the basic things, food, what you should eat, you shouldn't eat. I do know that much. But when it comes further than that, I'm not an expert. So therefore, I will always refer, and I've always referred my fighters to a qualified nutritionist. Okay. Yeah? Okay, so really and truly, like I said, call me ignorant. I do know the basic things with food and drink. Away from that, I'm not your man. I'm a boxing coach.
And the final point, Ali Adams said he wants nothing to do with Don Charles.
That's his own prerogative, yeah. You know, I don't hate the guy, yeah. He's, like I said, he's a lovely person. He really is, a nice human being, okay? But we're talking about boxing now. If he doesn't want nothing, ask him again. If he chooses, he knows my phone number. Yeah,
we will be doing a follow-up interview. So
I know he's based in Dubai with a colleague of mine who also called me to get my side of the story. Yeah, and I'm disappointed, may I add. I'm very disappointed in Ali's stance he's taking because I didn't back him up as a drugs cheat. I repeat, yeah, because I didn't back him up. He doesn't want nothing to do with me. Good. I don't want no drugs cheats around me.
So, okay. I don't want you getting more upset and probably getting a heart attack on the interview.
You could hear it in my tone. I'm a very reserved guy. I'm a very charming man. Yeah.
Yes.
And what I've done for that guy as a human being, tell him when you talk to him, go and look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, yourself in the mirror, Ali Adams, and then repeat about you don't want nothing to do with me. It should be the other way around that I don't want nothing to do with. Even at this point, I'm not saying I don't want to see the guy, 'cause I like the guy, yeah? Okay, when he said he doesn't want nothing to do, what? Because I gave you love and charged you for it. Ask him how much did you pay Don Charles for the duration, yeah, of his stay with me, of not just for the Odley Harrison. Ask him how much have you paid Don Charles to date, yeah, for training you. Okay, ask him when he calls me a liar because I didn't back him up as a drugs cheat. Ask him that. Let him look at himself in the mirror first before he can come and call me a liar. I'm glad he's called him a liar because I called him a drugs cheat. I went on Sky Sports and lied. What did I lie about? That I acknowledged that I'm not the doping body. I'm not the one who found substances in his system. So what did I lie about? May I ask?
Oh, we will be interviewing Ali Adams to get a response to this because, you know, it doesn't sound, you know, there's obviously more questions to be answered. But let's move on. Let's move on to brighter days. Let's talk about the other fighter. And we also have to go back to, unfortunately, some dark days here. Derek Chisora, Del Boy, as is your other fighter. And the last time we spoke, we were talking about Derek and his challenge to David Haye.
Tactics. That's what we talk about, me and you. We always talk about tactics.
I have to take it back a little further because there are questions. One of the main questions was, what was Don Charles thinking trying to take on David Haye in that scuffle? So that's the first question.
What scuffle are you referring to? The Munich brawl?
That brawl.
Yeah.
Back in Munich.
What was I thinking of taking on David Haye? In what sense?
Yeah, because on the video footage that you were you told me that you were trying to break the whole thing up and you got left hooked by David Haye.
Yeah.
And it looked like you were, I don't know if you were trying to retaliate after Haye threw that left hook at you. So,
sure.
And then it was stated afterwards that you were quite happy to fight David Haye. Now you could have said this in the heat of battle, but just to clarify it once and for all, because there are boxing forums and there are stop boxing fans that say, Don Charles fancies his chance against David Haye. He's a 50-year-old man. What's he thinking he's doing? And all the rest of it. And of course, it's boxing fans love to talk. So
sure, which is good. It's good for the sport, you know. Look, from my own experience, what happened in Germany, it should never have happened. I've always condemned it. What happened shouldn't have happened, but it happened.
Was it a publicity stunt?
No, categorically no. 3,000% no. Basically, David Haye shouldn't have been in there, but he was. Derek Chisora had just fought one of the most feared men on the planet, boxing-wise, in Vitaly Klitschko, and what you're doing in that room, slagging Derek off, calling him a loser, totally uncalled for. Yeah, he was there. Derek, should he have got off his seat? No, he shouldn't have got off his seat. Yeah, he should have just remained calm, took the insults, and stayed on his stool, on his seat.
So why was there no security, or did you not feel there was security needed?
Again, there was very inadequate security. The only security that was in there was there to look after Vitaly. I've been told. They had 3 security staff, Vitaly's personal security. There was no in-house security. Because let's face it, normally in boxing, especially after the fight, before the fight, after the fight, nobody really wants to fight. It's usually the media, the press, who are in there, and there's never any really real need for security. Hence why I believe there was no security, adequate security in that place. Nevertheless, what happened. Derek got off his stool because nobody likes to be called a loser and ridiculed when you've just fought your heart out. Yeah. So he approached David Haye. If you notice, if you watch it back, Derek turned around and said to me, I tried to stop him going. He said, no, wait, just stand behind me. Yeah.
Yeah, get behind me. I remember it.
Yeah, you could hear it clearly on there. So which I did.
It's been played so many times on YouTube. It's unbelievable. To my surprise, when he now put the microphone towards David Haye to speak, say what you've been saying from a distance into the microphone, and David Haye obviously chose to strike Derek Chisora, with a clenched fist, and I believe he had a bottle in his hand. Okay, thank God, the bottle didn't break and cut Derek badly. Yeah. Now,
when he struck Derek, I was obviously Derek himself, myself, everybody was surprised because we didn't know he would react in that way. David Hay, he probably panicked. Yeah, David Hay probably panicked by his reaction. Yeah. Now, when I saw that,
let me stop you there. In David Hay's defence here, by striking Derek, in David Hay's defence to when Derek came up to him, Derek had been saying, if I see that boy, I'm going to give him 2 slaps. I'm going to break his jaw. I'm going to do this. So Derek had been saying a lot of inflammatory things up to that point. And let's remember, Derek Chisora biting Paul Butlin's ear, kissing Carl Baker, and slapping Vitaly Klitschko. So if a man like that has taken off and said, get behind me, and is bowling up to you with other guys, he's walking up to you in that manner, well, of course, Derek Chisora was doing that to me. I was a heavyweight, and I was David Hayes' size, and he's coming to me, what? And this is on national television. Of course I'd want to.
Yeah, right. Like I said earlier on, which led to confirm that I believe that David, knowing Derek's character, unpredictable, he does things, mischievous, does things. So he reacted, I'm not condemning David Hay. I don't agree with what he did, how he reacted. I'm just saying it was a normal, a fighter's instincts.
So, so I know. So if Derek now turned around and clumped David one, then what? David will look like a wimp.
Exactly. It's not about what you look like. It's called, listen, I'm a fighter, ex-fighter, Once you're a fighter, people will understand you have a fighter's mentality, right? Now, what I'm saying, I'm not defending David Hayes' actions. I'm trying to put light to why he would have punched out. It's how fighters behave. That's how they think. He felt threatened at that moment, so he struck out. He hit out. He didn't come in that room planning, I'm going to hit Derek Chisora today. No. He came there, like you said, when we all approached, me, Derek, and there was another chap with me, we approached, and he thought 3 big guys coming towards him. Knowing Derek's history, he does sometimes things, again, he doesn't plan those things, they just happen. And
I also want to clarify something else. You said that David Hay should not have been in that room. According to David Hay, he was part of the RTL team, and he was doing an interview with with RTL previewing the fight. So he would have had a press pass or some sort of authority to be there.
Okay.
So
sure. Look, we could go around in circles to say why he wasn't there, he was there. And if he was in there, I don't believe he should have been there to antagonize Derek and tease Derek and call him a loser. No, 2 wrongs don't make a right. So he shouldn't have been. Let's say he was in there. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been. No, to be in there is one thing. To do what he was doing in there is another thing. Do you know what I mean?
But that's David Hay. Come on, that's David Hay.
But that's what led to what happened. Obviously, him being there and not just being there, talking the way he was talking. So what happened when he struck Derek. He hit out at Derek. I was shocked. My immediate reaction was not to hit David Hay, obviously not, is to break them up. If you watch the video carefully, my arm is out trying to separate, put my body between David Hay and Derek Chisora. I may have appeared aggressive to David Hay. He's a fighter. Again, my body, I wasn't talking to him. I was reacting. My reaction would have led him to believe maybe I was going to strike him.
And by the way, you seem to have a decent chin, by the way.
I've got a very decent chin. But to my surprise, again, he struck me with his left hook. A beautiful shot. And now, had I known he was going to punch me, it wouldn't have landed because I would have slipped it, rolled it, or blocked it. Again, it caught me by surprise. Bang, on the chin. I needed 6 stitches in that injury. Obviously, what happened after that? I saw red, like you would. I chased after him. He retreated. We caught up. We exchanged a few, little punches, nothing big. Again, he pulled away. He chose to grab a big camera tripod. They're bloody heavy, those things. I don't even ever lifted one up. Very heavy. How he picked it up with such ease, I don't know. He must be a very strong man. Yeah. He picked it up and swung it at me. I was pulled out the way, thank God, because I probably wouldn't be here today to tell the tale. Had that thing caught me, I probably Adam Booth was trying to push me away. Unfortunately, he got struck by part of it.
Yes.
Which caused the bleeding on his head.
Yes.
Right. Because he had his back to David Hay, and he was facing Adam Booth was facing me. He had his back to Hay. He was trying to push me away, and the tripod caught him slightly. He's fortunate to actually not have sustained a bigger injury, Adam Booth, right? So the whole thing happened. It was wrong. Should never have happened. It happened. Yeah. The question is, how do we make amend that these ugly things don't happen? It's not good for our sport. No. It's not good for children who are into the sport, young people who are trying to get it. It's not a good example. No. Yeah,
that's not a good example, but it certainly made the headlines worldwide for all the wrong reasons. Well, but at the end of the day, it made the worldwide news, and it made the fight Hey Chisora, didn't it?
Exactly. Like I said, I'm totally and will always be totally against what the incident that happened on that night in that room.
Absolutely.
But what came after it, yes, the fight was born from that. And unfortunately, we know the result. We lost the fight, which is still a bitter pill for me to swallow. And Derek.
Let's spool forward. So after the fight, do you think that Derek prepared as well as he could have done for that fight?
I always train every of my fighters, whether they're doing a 4-round fight or they're doing a world title. I only know one way: train them hard.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going in the ring to risk their life. Yeah.
Yep.
So therefore, you prepare to the best that you can. Yeah.
Okay. Question now.
Sorry. Let me add on.
Okay. Go.
Losing the fight was never down to not lack of training.
So he was he was ready.
Yeah, that was the case.
He was ready.
Mentally, physically ready. Yes.
Okay. An observation, and I don't know whether this is media, this is hype, or the truth. Mm-hmm. But your relationship with Derek Chisora. And that incident, that supposed incident where he took off the head guard and you and him had a back and forth. The respect level, now this is only by observation. I wasn't there. I don't know. I can't say I was there. But the observation is a relationship between trainer and fighter should be one of total respect. Mm-hmm. And if a trainer has not got the respect of a fighter, then you have a situation where a fighter is telling the trainer what to do, and the trainer is only carrying the fighter's gym bag.
Sure, right.
And the relationship between yourself and Derek Chisora has to be 100% trainer, fighter, trainer showing fighter what to do, and fighter listening and being interactive with that. When fighter thinks that trainer is no good or has disrespect to a trainer, there is an issue and a problem which manifests itself sooner rather than later come fight time. What's your response to that?
Right, you're absolutely accurate in your assumption, in your observations. You're absolutely, totally 100% accurate in cases if that was the case. Right? Now, I've been with Derek Chisora since he turned professional. Okay. We've got like a father and son relationship. That's how I would call it. Yeah. He does respect me. Okay. Now, Derek Chisora is a very extraordinary character. Okay.
Okay.
He's not the easiest individual to train, or the easiest individuals to take instructions.
Okay,
yeah?
Can you stop you just there, right at that point?
Sure.
Because I'm going to go to a flashpoint right back to when Derek was going up to David Hay. That's a key point, and that's pressure. Fighter, trainer, relationship. Trainer says, Derek, what are you doing? Derek tells the trainer, get behind me. Wait. Oh, hold on. Get behind me. No. I'm your trainer, and if I tell you stop, you stop. You don't go ahead and do what you feel you want to be John Wayne. No, you don't be John Wayne because you're bringing me into that now. And that sort of behavior is unacceptable. So the fact that he said to you, get behind me, he's talking to you like, and I'm not having a dig at Derek here because I love Derek. You know, I'm one of his biggest fans. You know that. But for him to say, get behind me, and then stroll out and bowl out and go after David Hay as the way he did, showed that, for me, visually, I don't know what else, it showed a total lack of respect for you as a trainer.
Yeah, only Chisora can answer you that. But from my side of it, it may have appeared that way to you because I have that understanding.
Yes.
That relationship with him. I have trust that he would have walked up there. Yeah.
Yes.
And Derek, I know him well. Yeah, where he wouldn't have gone there to start a fight. He would have gone there to give it verbal. Front it. We call fronting it.
So in that case, then, when he slapped Vitali, or when he kissed Carl Baker, or when he bit Paul Butlin, you obviously had that same trust in him as well. Then
I did indeed. Again, with the I can explain every account.
Yes.
Yeah. The kissing is off the cuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. The slapping was off the cuff. Only Derek Chisora could tell you what was in his head at that moment.
So a lot of trainers, first and foremost, around the world, not just in Britain, would say, that guy's uncontrollable. I ain't training him. He's it's going to take a special trainer to control Derek Chisora. And to be fair, on the flip side. Okay.
Let me put a question to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's take it out of boxing context. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go to football.
Or go to cricket, because I'm a cricket coach. We can use that.
Let me go to football, because I'm a big football fan.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yes.
Has a young man called Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
There's a Mancini at Manchester City has a chap called Balotelli.
Yes.
Balotelli.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Now, there's always this type of incidents with these special players.
Yes.
Right? Okay. You could ask the same question you're asking to me, to Sir Alex Ferguson. Why? That means Alex Ferguson is soft. No, he's not. But yet again, when Rooney will kick off in a big match and get sent off.
Okay, but I will stop you right there. I've got to stop you right there because fans would jump on this and say, well, all right, then Wayne Rooney and Balotelli, they played for two very successful teams. One has won the Premiership. The other team has gone and won the European Cup and is recognised as one of the best teams in the world. Derek Chisora, in all honesty, has only beaten Sam Sexton. Yeah. That's what fans will come back and say.
Yeah.
That's the honest truth. I mean, that's not mollycoddling it. That's
again, you're right. But he has also fought at the world level. If he wasn't good enough, why would they elect him to fight at world level?
Yeah, but okay, he's fought at world level. But Tony Thompson's fought at world level.
Also, okay. All right, let me pose this to you then. Okay. So you're saying to me, one second, you're saying to me that it's okay to behave like that, like how when Rooney or Balotelli may behave because they've got the right to do so because they're playing for a successful club. That makes their attitude correct? No, it's not.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But they're at a successful team and the manager would have been
that's all
proven.
Right. Them to behave like twats at times.
Absolutely, it's not on. But their coach would turn around and say to them, look, this is not on. And they have faith in them. And in some cases, if you look at the Rooney situation and the Balotelli situation, there was a moment where Rooney was going to almost get sold and Balotelli was going to get thrown out of the club.
Right.
So
there
has been some
still there.
Yes, but there's been visual conversations with Ferguson that has come out and said behaviour is unacceptable, and there's been some fines put in as well from that.
Right. If you like we're interviewing now.
Yes.
My previous interviews about you go rewind, find it on the internet. When I was asked about the Derek Chisora situation with Vitaly Klitschko when he slapped Vitaly Klitschko, I condemned it and will always do. Yeah. We have our own internal issues that we deal with. That's all behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Right. So I can't really sit here and justify to you and to other fans what I do and don't do with Derek Chisora. That's private in the sense that we have our own issues. Of course you do. He's an extraordinary individual who's a very He's not the easiest person in the world to train as a fighter.
I hope you've enjoyed part 1 of a 2-part series with Don Charles. Stay tuned for part 2.